Well, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the Move podcast, brought to you each and every time by Aura. Simply put, this technology, there's a lot of stuff out there that tries to do this. The Aura Ring is the most accurate, not just sleep tracking device, activity tracking, recovery tracking device on the market. The form factor is far and away the simplest. The finger is the place to measure these metrics. If you want to optimize not just sleep, but clarity, attentive, all of the mental aspects of your life, it starts with sleep. And the Ring is as I've found, and I'm a religious user of the Ring, as everybody knows, as is everybody else on this show. The Aura is the go-to. Check it out for yourself. They'll send you a sizing kit, get your proper size, bam, Ring comes. Also, a bunch of really cool partnerships. The NBA, WNBA, UFC, all the big tech leaders are in love with this Ring. Head on over to Aura Ring. That's OURA Ring.com to check out more. I am joined today. I'm here still in Aspen. We've got Johan over. He's got his backdrop fixed. That's cool. You know, last week, he sort of slacked off and didn't have his custom backdrop. So Johan, congratulations. It's cool to see that back. Mm-hmm. We're talking about the Tour de France 2021 preview. We're gonna break this all down. Obviously, we did a preview show once the course was announced, but like everything in life, shit changes. So we got to update some things. That's why Johan's on here. We basically won't even talk. Johan will just, the guy just lives and breathes cycling. So, it's been great being here. I'll be on at the end to just say bye to everybody. But also joined over there in Austin, Texas, JB Hager, looking mighty rosy.
I need Bolch and his lighting magic. I don't understand lighting, apparently. I look like an Oompa Loompa.
Ooh, a Mike Golick Oompa Loompa.
So apologies for that. And I'll be jumping in my truck in just under 2 days to start making my way to Colorado.
Making the voyage up here. And then over there in Greenville, South Carolina. You are in Greenville, right? Or no, wait. Heck, you never know, actually. Where are you, George?
I'm in Greenville.
You're home. In Greenville. You're not in a jizzy. I can tell you're not. You're in some room.
Nope, I'm in my basement.
Yeah, and George is heading over, as we said last week. He's heading over here right before the start of the tour because he's going to his son's junior nationals, which, he might be a feature on this show pretty soon. You never know. Today's show also brought to you by Roka. We talk about them all the time. I got to say something about Roka because I spend a lot of time on the bike still. I go out and ride. I rode up to Ashcroft today with a group of folks. I can't believe. And again, like I said before, I'm going to take some credit for this. I think we should all take credit. I can't believe how many people I'm seeing wearing Roka, right? We know all the legacy brands, but this brand is on fire, founded by a bunch of great athletes, for great athletes. They're the best. They really are. I'm not just saying that. And the other thing is my new readers. They sent me a whole new batch of readers. Wait, I got some shit to bust out during the tour that's just going to blow y'all's minds. On reader selection. Okay.
Well, that's music to my ears because, last year you had all these little fingernail issues and neck issues. So we didn't get to ride at all. So I'm happy that Roka is playing partner for you getting back on the bike. And I hope we can do a lot of cycling together while we're out there.
Yeah. I wear them at night. Remember that old Corey Hart song? I wear my Rokas at night. Anyways, special offer for our listeners, 20% off your first purchase. Just head on over to Roka, ROKA.com and enter the move, all one word, for 20% off your first purchase. Last one here for a bit. Today's show also brought to you by Ventum. I got to tell you, my two whips, the NS1, which is my road bike, and the GS1 is their new gravel bike. Boys, this is George. I mean, I know you said you got knocked down by that COVID vaccine. Between your second shot of that vaccine and me on the NS1, buddy, you better wise up. Get serious, okay?
Right.
This whip it's light, it's stiff, it's got a super dope paint job. It's got the WEDÖ custom paint job, direct to consumer, which a lot of people are going to, and I think they're nailing it. Dia and his whole crew just awarded from Bicycling Magazine one of the best bikes of 2021. built custom for you in the Utah Uinta Mountains. Is that right? What do I know? Head on over to ventumracing.com and use the promo code THEMOVE. Again, all one word, THEMOVE, at checkout for 10% off any purchase. By the way, bikes are expensive now. Do the math. 10% off? Woo, a lot of money. Ventumracing.com. All right, guys, let's talk about the Tour de France 2021. We got a week to go.
And you guys started getting all excited as of yesterday just by looking at the weather forecast. All of you got perked up when you saw that.
I got perked up because I'm usually the one that catches those things, because I love me some, as a fan and as a spectator, I love watching these guys duke it out in the rain. George beat me to it, sent over the forecast for the north of France where the Tour starts in 2021. Oh boy, nasty, rainy, chilly. This is, I think it's a great place to start, because this is two things. Well, actually three things. With that comes wind, with that comes echelons, with that comes selection. But I think the big thing and you guys will remember, we always had, there are always guys who just can't handle that so early in the race. And man, I tell you what, you get any kind of chest cold, head cold in the first week, it's seeing the douches. All right. So
yeah, plus you really need a strong team to keep you all the time in the front. So
that's right.
Team is going to be important. In these kind of, those 4 days in Bretagne, we could already see, a selection. I mean, hopefully, nobody gets out on crashes, but they will happen. Right. Wind, rain, the nerves, so yeah, it's going to be interesting, the 4 days in Bretagne.
And
not only that, but everybody gets there now, probably even earlier than when we had to go because of COVID testing and all these new protocols. So you're sitting around probably starting from Monday night, Tuesday on, not doing much, sitting in the hotel room, watching the weather forecast, and the nerves just start building and building and building. And then you have this incredibly hard, stressful stage one that I think is just going to be jam-packed excitement and action.
And we speak about it all the time, and we will continue to as we sort of cover the first week of this year's tour. But that is the most nervous racing of the calendar year. Like, even on a perfectly sunny, dry day, it's so nerve-wracking. Well, you throw in some wind, you throw in some rain. I mean, it's 10x. Right? It's just
Plus, with the first stages, they have these walls at the end. Obviously, the GC favorites are probably not going to race to win the stage, but they have to be in the front to not, there's going to be gaps. So it's going to add a lot of stress on them and for their team. So yeah, it will be super nervous, but for us, super, super exciting to watch.
Yeah, these roads, they're in Bretagne, as we all know, they're narrow, they're windy. There's a lot of open sections. And there's no real established, team dominance right now for the Tour. So it's going to be the guys that are trying to win the stages, which, as we know, will be Quick Step, Alpecin, probably Jumbo with Wout van Aert, maybe Roglič. And then, of course, Ineos is going to be up there battling to stay at the front as well. Bora Bora with Sagan. So there's not that much room for 4 to 5 to 6 teams to be at the front. So that's just going to make the racing super, super fast.
Yeah.
I mean, out of the gates, and you brought it up, Johan. So I just took another relook at stage one, which it's 197 kilometers, so 125 miles, más o menos. And boy, and Brittany is lumpy. Like, this is not, people think, oh, the north of France, it's just going to rolls along. No, that's challenging terrain. And if you look at the profile, especially the last 30 kilometers, hello, Vegas. I mean, to repeat what y'all said, this isn't a week to win the Tour, but it is certainly a week where if you're not paying attention, you can lose it all.
Yeah, I think, with these kind of stages, especially if the weather conditions will be what they predict today, on top of these little climbs, it's the peloton is going to break for sure. And everybody knows that, every time you crest one of those little hills, it's open. So it will be a constant battle. First of all, to stay in position, to not lose time. and then of course at the end for the stage win. So, we're looking at guys, as we said, Van der Poel, Alaphilippe. I think those are the two really big favorites for those first stages. They both said, especially Van der Poel. Van der Poel, he goes there. That's his goal. Win a stage in the first 2 or 3 stages. Take yellow to honor Raymond Poulidor, his granddad. Once he's done that, don't think he will stay long. 1 week, maybe 10 days, and he'll go home and prepare for the Olympics. So he plays everything in that first weekend.
Well, just to double click on that. So, and again, and we know his potential. We know his numbers in terms of wattage. A longer stage. He has this desire, which I think is amazing, Johan, which you shared with us last week. But 3 kilometers at almost 6% at the finish in the rain. Who the hell's going to stay? Who's going to stay on that wheel? Van Aert?
Well, Van Aert, we don't know. He had this problem. He had a surgery. Had to remove his appendix, which obviously
that's a big update. I should pay attention.
Yeah.
God Almighty.
So
we don't. Then he's not staying on the wheel.
We don't know. We don't know how he is. They have given very little information. Normally, in normal circumstances, he of course would be one of the big favorites. But yeah, going off what we saw from Van der Poel and that power explosion in those 2 stages in Switzerland, it's not even Alaphilippe. And apparently, from what I've heard from his close people close to him, he is better now than he was in Switzerland. He just came off altitude camp, didn't do a lot of specific training. He compensated that now. And from what I hear, they are ready for yellow. They have everything ready. And the nice thing that I really like, that if we see Mathieu van der Poel in yellow, he's not going to be all yellow. It's not going to be the circus outfit, yellow pants. It's going to be black pants with a little yellow. So they are prepared.
Is this your scoop you were teasing out beforehand?
This is a little scoop. Yeah, he's not going to be all yellow.
This is not a little scoop. This is a big scoop, because this is a really big deal to me. I got to tell you, these guys. You remember, like they had to twist our arms to ride into Paris on a yellow bike or to wear a yellow helmet. I was like, are you kidding me right now? Like you would ride around like a banana. No, honestly. And so this is a huge scoop for me personally. Like I think that is what a baller move.
I think it's really classy. You respect your team uniform. Okay. If it doesn't really fit with yellow, make it black, or make it whatever, navy blue, but not yellow. So,
on the heels of something that Johan said, Van der Poel may pack up and go home, focus on the Olympics. Do you think we're going to see a lot of people do that? Go for some early success and go home just because of the way the Olympics fall?
Great question, JB. It is, because that's Johan knows these kind of things better than anybody. That's a damn good question, because I
don't think so.
No, I think the only people who because we all know, obviously the road race in Japan is apparently very hard. Yes. So obviously it's for climbers. The only guys who will pack will be climbers that fail in the GC. The guys that are in GC won't. They'll stay. Top 10 is top 10. Whatever is, even somebody who is going for the podium and is in 7th or 8th, he'll still stay. He's not going to go home. So I think, stage hunters may bet on that, but the Olympics is a lottery too. Only one guy can win, and there's only one thing that counts. It's just the gold medal. So, as we said before, in road racing, professional cycling, I don't think the Olympics are that important. At least, I don't find it important.
Well, that's what I was going to say, Johan. These guys are paid by the.
Yes. Go ahead, Georgie.
These guys are paid by the teams to race the Tour de France. They're not paid to do the Olympics. They're not even wearing the team sponsors' names during the Olympics. So the priority for the guys of the Tour de France from their teams will be for them to finish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Olympic title doesn't bring nothing to the team, because there's not even a recognition. There's nothing. So it's nice for the athlete and for the federation, but that's it.
It's still a big deal. I mean, hang on. I didn't just say that because I've been against professionals being in the Olympic Games, but it feels like it is gaining significance in the pelt. I don't know why, but it's my feeling. And if you're the athlete, like to your point, Johan, like it's, in your country, right? If you can be Simone Biles or Michael Phelps or, Michael Johnson, I mean, it's a big deal just from a personal endorsement standpoint. Obviously the team doesn't benefit per se, but I think that's what's driving some of the motivation. And then obviously we could just keep going down. Down this trail here because you got guys from the road focusing on the mountain bike. Like
Yeah, well, I think the move, the bet that Mathieu van der Poel takes is a very bold bet because, let's face it. Yes, he is an all-rounder, but from the last races we've seen, he's not the favorite to win the Olympics in the mountain bike. It's Tom Pidcock. Right. Pidcock has shown that he's better, and especially on a harder course, he's a lot lighter.
Even now, he just had a really bad crash, though.
Well, yeah. Well, he broke his collarbone. Nowadays, the last race I saw, Pidcock was obviously. When it's uphill, he's stronger than Mathieu van der Poel. Van der Poel, you can see he's a powerful guy, big guy. He has his weight against him, so I think it's a risky bet he takes, but it's also a unique chance for him to be Olympic champion. So and whatever, Van der Poel, Mathieu van der Poel is Van der Poel. He can do it all. So let's see. I think for, his first goal is take yellow in Bretagne, and I think he has a very good chance.
Yeah, he's got to start right. By the way, stage 2.
Mm-hmm.
It's not for Pannekuchen either. That's then it's uphill finish 2K 7%. Again, forecast to be nasty weather.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There's going to be some frayed. You're 2 days into this. Boys are going to be cracking, going, what I get myself into?
Yeah.
2 days in, 12 categorized climbs already in the first 2 stages. That's a very tough start to the Tour de France.
Yeah.
Well, who do you guys think is the Ineos team leader? There's a lot of depth on that team, and we just in the most recent couple shows we were talking about all the momentum they've picked up through the season. They look good. Is it Carapaz?
I think it's Carapaz.
Well, going off what we saw in Switzerland, Dauphiné, I would say yes, but I think within the team, it has you have to respect an ex-Tour de France winner. Geraint Thomas won the Tour. He finished second. He was not top at Dauphiné, but good enough, which I kind of like. He still has, some improvement to make. And I also think that this Tour de France is good for Geraint Thomas. There's not a lot of very steep climbs. There's a lot of long climbs. So, if you look at Carapaz against Geraint Thomas, 50-kilometer time trial, Thomas is in the advantage. So, we'll see. But obviously, listen, they have to have different leaders to play with, because if you look at what we saw last year, it's Pogačar and Roglič versus the rest. And Team Ineos have to play, it's not 3, they have 4 guys. They have Carapaz, Thomas, Theo, and Richie Porte. So that's what they have to play with. Obviously, I think that they're in a good situation, because if you have 4 guys in those first stages in Bretagne, in terms of Jumbo-Visma and UAE, if something happens with their leader, which is possible, it's game over for them.
Mm-hmm.
Ineos has more chances.
I like the position Richie Porte's in. He's alongside 3 Grand Tour winners. All the pressure isn't on him. He's riding super, super well this year. He's happy to be back on the team. I like the position that he's in, sort of the underdog of that team. I think he will really excel under that position.
And I still believe he could win the Ironman if he focused on that.
Yeah. The only thing, George, that I think with Richie Porte is I don't think Richie Porte will win the Tour, because he does not have the mentality that these other guys have. Like if you see a Carapaz, is a strong, charismatic guy. He wants to win. Richie Porte is a great rider. Top place in the Grand Tour is third once. Other than that, he has no top 5 finishes. That's for a reason, obviously. If you compare with Thomas, Carapaz, even Theo, those guys have a stronger leader's personality, and I think that's also important.
What is Carapaz like in the group? I'm talking going back to these early nervous days, 200 guys. He moves well in the group, Johan?
He's a warrior. He's, this
Wow.
guy. Yeah. He's a warrior. I mean, if you look at his riding style, most of these South Americans nowadays, they're really good bike riders. If you look back when the Colombians came to Europe, when the mountains started, it was over for them. They were 10, 15 minutes behind because they were, either they had in crash or dropped in echelons. This doesn't happen anymore. Mm-hmm. These guys are really good bike riders. Even a guy like, Bernal, great bike rider. Nick Quintana, not at the strongest anymore, but great bike rider. So, these guys, I mean, Carapaz has learned the job in Europe. He was on a Spanish team before he turned professional. So, he's a great bike rider.
Fighters.
Do we have any intel on what Roglič has been doing? We didn't get a look at him leading up to the Tour. No intel, Johan?
All I know is that he's been training great and that he's, putting all his cards in, being strong in the last week, which has been his weak point for now. And, I think he made a wise choice, I think we could see a different team, Jumbo-Visma, in the Tour, with Roglič as a leader. He hasn't been around for the last few stage races. So, and then, obviously a Wout van Aert who maybe will not feel good enough to be in the sprints, which I think personally for the team is an advantage.
Of course.
Because he will be better in the last part of the Tour. So I'm confident that Jumbo-Visma will be have upped their game for the Tour de France.
Mm-hmm. And obviously we have to talk about Pogačar. He's and maybe we'll talk about him at the end when we make some predictions. But he's not suffered any hiccups along the way.
Well, he did. If you mean one thing. Which was very surprising. So he obviously won the Tour of Slovenia. His last race was Liège-Bastogne-Liège, which he didn't win it, right? Or did he?
No. Wait, did he? We should know these things. We're the experts.
I don't remember. But anyway, so in great shape. And then he did win Liège-Bastogne-Liège, by the way. Roglič won it last year. He won it this year. Didn't race anymore. Trained, chose the Tour of Slovenia, which it was a nice course, but not a lot of competition. Basically, did whatever they wanted. Had some hard races. He did, however, surprisingly, lose the Slovenian Championship time trial.
Do that.
He was third, and he was beaten by Tratnik from which is he's a great bike rider, and Tratnik great, but from his teammate Jan Polanc. So I read somewhere that he knows he made a mistake. He went out too fast. He had the best split time, but he lost the championship, which is obviously not good for his morale. Of course, it's not an indication of what's going to happen in the Tour de France, but. He's not the champion, and last year Roglič lost to him in the time trial, in the championship, and in the Tour. So,
it was an uphill time trial.
So was the championship in Slovenia. This time I think it was more flat. But I think personally that for Roglič, this course is great. There's 2 time trials, 27 kilometers and 30 kilometers. So 2 times reasonably flat, which is, I think in Roglič an advantage because he's more specialist than Pogačar. We'll see. I think we'll all see that Roglič shows up in great shape as he usually does when he comes off training camps. And then, it'll depend on how he gets through that first week, I guess.
Yep.
Is there anybody that I know we're still getting start lists from teams? Is there anybody you've heard of so far that is not coming to the Tour de France that surprised you?
Yeah, I have one surprise. Is the non-selection of Marc Padun. We didn't talk about him in our Dauphiné show, but Padun won the 2 mountain stages, incredible form. Set new records, incredible demonstration. If you watch those stages, he was really, really impressive. He was a very good amateur rider, got 5th in the Giro for amateurs, was 5th in the World Championships, great rider, got a little bit lost his first year professional, but now all of a sudden, comes to, maturity and he was amazing, the best climber of the Dauphiné. So I don't know if it was the plan. Maybe he's focusing on the Olympics and the Vuelta. We don't know. But I was surprised to see him not included in the list of Bahrain, because they're going without Mikel Landa and their leader for the GC is Jack Haig, which is maybe somebody who can be between 5th and 10th, at his best. So I was surprised to not see him in the selection of the 8th of Bahrain.
George, what were you had something on your mind there, George? What were you thinking? Did you already forget?
Yeah. What he said surprises. I mean, my surprise for this week was the retirement of our good friend TJ Van Garderen and Brent Bookwalter. Wanted to wish them the best in their decisions, and we're going to miss. I'm personally going to miss watching them in the peloton because I was really close with them, as I know you were, Lance. So I just wanted to shout that out.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, it's kind of the passing of the guard, or passing the torch of a sort of a generation below us, and of course now we have this young generation of American kids is promising. So, wish them the best.
Yeah, you guys are at that point now where you're talking about 2 generations past you now. Is that
and we're at the point we're now talking about George's son racing the national championships.
Right.
I mean, I knew this kid when he's pooping yellow. You never know. One day he might be going for yellow. The sprint competition has gotten you, Johan. You alluded to Cavendish not making the team and them taking Sam Bennett, which frankly I'm surprised at, because that guy's leaving the team. Knowing Lefebvre, yeah.
Well, I think, but I think Sam Bennett leaves really in good circumstances. He's a great guy. Everybody loves him on the team. Green jersey last year, obviously. They must be quite confident in his injury that it's quite healed.
Well, then why is he leaving? If he's such an awesome dude, why is he leaving?
Well, it's obviously a financial question. Lefebvre has put all his hope in. He put a big effort into renewing Alaphilippe, in really tying up Evenepoel, and there was no more budget, or not enough budget to match the offers for Sam Bennett. So I've heard that there's a big possibility he goes back to Bora, which also is a strange move.
It's strange, but sounds like there's going to be 11 seats empty, if we believe what we read, including the hospitality manager, which you got to have it. It's very important. And I want to jump back into the sprint thing, because we do have to talk about Sagan and his pursuit for 8 greens. But one other feature that I'm super excited about during the tour, and a lot of you loyal listeners or viewers will have seen this on socials, would have seen the back and forth with George. You saw the vote about Pilot Mountain and outside of Brevard, North Carolina, being selected. We're going to actively cover on a daily basis this competition. So we have 3 weeks. We've put up all this prize money. People have, we've laid it out there. So people have to go out and challenge themselves. And it'll be fun to cover not just overall female, overall male, U23 female, U23 male, but break it down into I can't wait for like the 80-year-old lady to come kick somebody's ass, like the 30-year-old. Like we gotta highlight this. I think it's amazing. And that segment is brought to you by Outside Plus. We're partnering with them on this, the WEDÜ Strava segment. or the WEDÖ segment that's actually powered by Strava. Obviously, that will be our scoreboard and our stopwatch. But Outside Plus, boy, they bundled up over 30 of the most respected and loved voices in the outdoor space. All the great brands you know and love: Outside, Velonews, Peloton, Backpacker, Triathlete, Yoga Journal. Okay, get your down dog on. And it, by the way, and I say, it's not like the Ginsu knife. Like, it's not just subscription. You get but wait, there's more. Training programs, workouts, magazine subscriptions, meal plans, premium video, free and discounted event access. Head on over to outsideonline.com/TheMove. Check it out. So, what about Mr. Sagan? Will he make 8 party?
George, what do you think?
I think he's back to top fitness. We saw him in the Giro, super strong. He's got a good shape, big motivation, happy with his team. And his first week is really good for Sagan. So I think we're going to see a lot of Sagan party in the first week.
I agree. I'm with you, George. I think he's, for all the obvious reasons. He didn't win it last year. He is looking for a new team. Who knows what's going on with all that, but that motivates a guy a lot. I think he'll win win his 8th green jersey.
Yeah, he's definitely on a lot better shape than last year. Last year he was, he hadn't won a race yet before the Tour de France. This year he's on great form. He will have a big advantage towards the real sprinters, so he will be able to mark quite a lot of points in the first stages, which, once that competition gets going, who gets there first is usually a guy who stays up there, So, I think he has a good chance to, it would be 8 green jerseys. That would be something.
That would be amazing.
Well, and out of all the sprinters, he'll have the best chance to grab some points in those first 2 stages, because those first 2 stages are going to go for these guys with the real punchy, sort of the Alaphilippe sprinter type people, not the Sam Bennett's. So he'll have a early advantage in the first week.
Yeah. Well, listen, one thing, George, let me tell you, if Caleb Ewan is in the same form like he was on the Poggio in Milan-San Remo, I would not count him out for a stage win.
Well, by the way, that was like 5 years ago. Okay, this sport moves so fast that was a long week. Ifs, ands, and buts, but no. Mm-mm.
Well, he looked pretty good in Belgium. Won a stage or 2.
He won one stage, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't climbing that great there, though. He was off the back in that first stage, which was a tough stage. But yeah, you never know. You can't count him out.
He was tapering.
That's right.
They don't do that. And we talked about this last week. They don't do that in cycling, I thought.
Well,
maybe sprinters do.
Everything changes. We don't know.
Yep.
Well, do you guys want to make some predictions?
My first prediction.
Go ahead.
I want to say I don't see a breakaway making it till stage 7 because of the way the race starts. 3, 4 will probably most likely be a sprint finish. First 2 stages will be a sort of a climber, punchy sprinter guy winning, and then stage 5 time trial. Stage 6 is sprint stage. Stage 7, I think, is my first, sort of chance for a breakaway to make it.
Yeah. Well, the difference, George, is that also, when we saw in the Giro, a lot of victories came from the breakaway. The Tour is very different because the Tour, the stages are so much more important than winning a stage in the Giro that you really can't say. It's you can't predict a breakaway making it because if you take away all the mountain stages and the time trials and you take away the first 2 stages, what's left for the guys, but I agree. It is a good tour for breakaways in between those crucial stages. And I think a lot will depend on what happens in the first 2 days.
You know what else I think is just really telling, almost ironic, is we're about to get through this whole Tour de France preview show and not talk about my favorite thing, the polka dot jersey. I think that is very significant and telling. Right. Exactly. No, but yes, you have nothing. None of you have anything to say.
No comment. I think. No.
Yeah. I know you have. I see it. I see it in your face.
It's a great. I mean, listen. I think it's a great competition, but it should have another jersey.
It should have a different. I don't want to talk about it right now. Okay. I'm going to get into it during these 3 weeks, but we about got through the whole show without talking about it.
What about George, Lance? What about? You're not a fan of mountain stages with no uphill finishes. So there's not that many uphill finishes.
Right. It neutralizes the climbs. I say that all the time, and I believe it. And here and there's obviously so many great opportunities. Look, it is what it is. I mean, they can pick whatever route they want to pick. It is more exciting. We can all agree it is more exciting to finish uphill. By the way, I also think when it's uphill finish, they should take their helmets off.
Yeah, you've said that many times. I know George is shaking his head on that one. But not only does it neutralize the finish with a downhill finish, it makes them take a lot of unnecessary risks. Well, I say unnecessary, a lot of risks on the descent to regroup and things like that. And that puts riders at risk, does it not? They
a lot of times the answer is yes. I mean, if the finish line was at the bottom of the descent, that's all amplified. But these guys take risks all the time. There's guys that get distance, or there's guys that's trying to bridge across. They are all taking risks. I mean, this is what they do on a road bike. The speeds that they reach. I mean, it's just risky, right? So, but it amplifies it for sure.
Yeah, I think it's a shame. There's some really, really nice climbs. There's only 3 times a really uphill finish, which is the stage in the Alps in Tignes, which is not, it's long, but it's not super hard. Then there's one in the Pyrenees, is Saint-Lary, the Porte d'Aspet, very well known to George, right?
Yep.
You won the stage there in 2005, right?
I have some more. I have some more questions about that stage, but we can talk about it offline.
Okay. And then there's Luzardiden, Tourmalet, Luzardiden, classic stage. I think it's there is no justification at all from the Tour de France to have a stage with 2 times the Mont Ventoux and not finish on top of the Ventoux. That's just unbelievable. I cannot understand that.
Yes, I mean that in and of itself makes it.
No, it's a shame. I mean, it's one of the for the spectators, it's one of the greatest climbs there is. You see, of course, they still have to do it. Probably the stage result will be very similar to the positions on the top, but still, man, I mean, not finishing on top of the Ventoux, that's crazy.
The riders will probably be happy because the evacuation process would be a lot easier.
Yeah, that's true.
To get to their hotels.
Well, listen, Lance didn't know that because he went in a heli. Those are the things.
Because I was in the yellow jersey, so
those are the things that he doesn't take into account.
Too bad, so sad. You think I fucking rented my own helicopter to come down? Like I was the Maillot Jaune. Maillot Jaune takes a heli.
Yeah, I have
George now. Like George is he's always in jizzies because he's George. Well, the yellow jersey gets the heli.
I have a great memory of when we finished on top of the Ventoux. Don't remember which year, and I got the drive down to the hotel, and I had our dear friend, may he rest in peace, Robin Williams, in the car with me. Mm-hmm. That drive down was unbelievable, hilarious. It was unbelievable. It was the best one-man show I think he ever gave. It was unbelievable.
That's saying a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we at that point where you guys want to make some predictions? And I do have a few good emails if we have time.
Okay. I think it is. I think, guys, I think we've come to that point. I think we should. And I got to say, I came in with a prediction, and in the middle of the show, I changed it. So,
are we just taking the winner?
Middle of the show.
And yeah, I changed it in the middle of the show.
Yeah, just the winner.
I say we do. I say we do. Oh, just the winner, not podium.
Yeah, I don't know enough to pick the podium.
Oh, winner. Okay,
winner. Johan,
Who's up?
Let's have our Svengali go first.
Okay. Same guy as I thought last year, Primož Roglič.
Oh.
What am I supposed? Can I pick the same one? That's my pick. So can I go?
Listen, we're not playing this game. If we all pick the same person,
Roglič. I say Roglič.
I'm picking Roglič. I'm picking Roglič also.
And I I'm going to pick Primož Roglič as well.
Whoa.
I got to
start pick.
It's and Johan, I think there's more to this, and it sounds so weird, lame to even say, but losing your own. I mean, we don't even know where this country is. Okay, what is it? I don't even know what it's called.
You don't know.
Well, it's somewhere there, and so and Primož Roglič is really
somewhere there.
Is really cute fan who always sent. And what is her name again?
Noosa.
Noosa. Now, Noosa is I consider her a teammate and a loyal member of this team. So I hope she chimes in this year. But and she tell me where that country is. But to not be able to win your national time trial championships, I don't know. That's what. Yeah, I just kept thinking about that after we were talking about Johan. That's not good. And so he was my pick, but I changed it. I'm going with Primož Roglič, and I think because he is significantly older than this young generation, this young crop, and I think he's starting. This has to be one of his last opportunities. He knows that.
Yeah,
that's very motivating.
So he went through that, that defeat last year, which was shocking for the whole cycling world. But then to almost go through it again in the Vuelta and sort of persevere from a very similar situation, I think has made him even more mentally tougher to be able to handle, what's going to come out on this year. So I think he's been through it. He's been through the ringer. He's learned from his mistakes. He's ready. He should be ready to go.
Hey, I think this is a first. The three of us agree for the first time on the show, I think.
Yep, I know. That moon still must be in place. That that hippie moon, whatever these people. Yeah, you know what I mean. But Higgs brought up a good point because Johan knows everything. So Johan, why don't you pick the podium since?
I thought we were going to save it for the other show.
Well,
Okay, I'll pick the podium. That's fine. I'll pick the podium. Roglič, Carapaz, Pogačar.
Well, that seems logical. That'd be a badass podium. I mean that would tell you that you had a true war. That's a legit podium.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so.
That's interesting because earlier, Johan, it sounded like you were favoring Geraint Thomas to a certain degree with those 2 time trials.
No, I said, JB, that within the team he will probably be seen as the leader out of respect for the ex-Tour de France winner. But then
I don't. We talk about this all the time. That stuff is kind of gone. This whole respect thing.
Geraint Thomas, he's not getting any younger. Carapaz is on great form, but they need to have several leaders, several bases to fight those 2 Slovenians. I got a question.
Mm-hmm. Okay, this is. I just thought of this. I mean, sometimes I say to myself, "Holy shit, that was good." What a question. Does Chris Froome finish the Tour de France?
Ooh, wow.
See, I got y'all again. I got you again, George. And George won't answer because we're friends. My homie. He'll probably just say yes, but I don't know.
I mean, I hope he's better than in Dauphiné. He can finish. He can finish. We know he's tough. He will want to make it a point of honor to finish. But man,
it's because I know this because I was there in 2010, man. It's hard.
Mm-hmm.
It's boy for your pride. It is hard to sit in the back on the climbs.
Well, let's assume that he's better than last year. He finished the Vuelta, right? So he should be able to get through.
Right.
And isn't it the first of a 5-year deal? Like you got to fight to stay relevant to pay off on that deal. Yeah.
He's not seeing 2/5 of that deal.
There is no way, JB, he can finish that contract. There's no way.
Yeah.
I mean, with all due respect, they have to find some kind of agreement, whatever. But no, Chris, I don't think Chris Froome can race for 4 more years after this one. George, what do you think? Come on.
That's a long contract. Even
but that wasn't the question. Excuse me. We go back to the first part of the question.
Just answer the question. Yeah, I don't think he'll go 5 years.
No, that also wasn't the question. The question was, will he finish the Tour?
Oh no, I think he'll finish the Tour because he finished the Vuelta, and I'm assuming he has that base in him, and he's going to finish the Tour.
Well, good on him. JB, you said you got some good questions.
I do. I got a few here for you. And then before we wrap, Johan has a surprise about La Movida. We got to make sure we touch on that. But here we go. So we all heard about the story of Lance's worst day in the Tour, where he got dehydrated and was suffering so much in the TT that Johan was telling him, just don't get off the bike. Don't get off the bike. But have we actually heard about George's worst day in the Tour? That's from Trent.
Great question.
Johan? I don't really remember.
I guess I was
always there.
There's been many bad days, but I don't know.
No, I would say 2004. We were kind of racing through Belgium, and there's a group of we went through Germany or something. There was a group of 70 guys, and Lance was there by himself one year, and you were very, very disappointed in the team.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't even remember what y'all are talking about. This is unbelievable.
You do remember. Yeah.
Both of you guys were pissed.
We went over Col de la Schlucht.
Yep.
And it was attacks, and there's the team had been working a lot. And wow. Yeah, that was usually we have the morning meetings. That day we had an evening meeting.
Yeah, that was my question.
Y'all better get your shit together.
What are those? I want to hear this from Lance and George. And Johan, you have to sit back and just listen. What were those meetings like when Johan was disappointed in the team?
Well, that would have been the only. That was probably the only one of that magnitude.
Yeah.
But to the team's credit, shit, they listened to him and rose to the occasion and bounced right back.
Absolutely.
Didn't even miss a beat.
Okay. Here's another question. Who is the next 5 times winner of the Tour de France? Egan Bernal, Tadej Pogačar, Froome. I think you already answered that question. Anyone else?
Is it multiple choice or is this?
No.
Okay.
Do you think anyone out there in the peloton right today could be that coveted 5 times winner? And that's from Colin in East Greenwich, Rhode Island.
Wow. Well, it's so hard to try to predict something like that. This is 5 years of winning that bike race. That's a long time. So much stuff can happen. Guys, it's just hard to say. I mean, you can't just look at who has won one, who has a big engine, who is young, It's just hard. There's so many variables.
I think as of now, logically you would say Pogačar. He will improve. He will improve. But things change so fast. And new guys are coming. Like we were talking about Remco Evenepoel being the best, and all of a sudden, there's Pogačar, there's these new guys. I mean, you can't say. I mean, winning this thing 5 times is very, very special, very unique. So, let alone 7.
I wasn't going to say it. Although I am looking out. It's cool. I'm looking out.
I said
of my studio here at my office in Aspen. How many? 1, 2. Oh shit! They're still here.
7 margaritas.
Yeah, no, so not 7. Not 7 margaritas.
By the way,
7,
George,
they're right there. It's crazy.
George, how many yellow jerseys do you have?
9.
9, but you also have one of your own.
Oh yeah, I mean, I only had one from my own for one day.
Yeah, okay. Well, we're the same then. We're the same. We both have 10.
That's right.
Yellow jerseys.
Anything else, JB?
One more quick question. Let's see. Lots of unexpected breakaways, success in the Giro, the Dauphiné, and the Tour de Suisse. Is there a subtle change happening in stage racing? Well, that's from Cheryl in Sacramento. We did see more breakaways.
And this is, we touched on that. This is what Johan, I thought, kind of nailed there.
Yeah, he did address that a little bit earlier. It's different in the Tour. How so?
There's more at stake. It's a lot more important. Every day is a battle. It's like every day is like if it was the last day. And
let me just be very clear about this, and listen to me. One stage win in the Tour de France makes a career.
Mm-hmm.
Not a season, not a month. It makes an entire career. No other race can boast that, right? That it is that significant.
The other thing is that the Tour de France, the teams bring their best riders. The Giro and the Vuelta and these other races, they have some filler riders that they just don't have enough to make up the roster. The Tour, they bring the best of the best.
No panic cooking.
Okay, very good. I think we should address this. Johan has some good news about La Movida for the Tour de France.
Yeah. Well, we're stepping up our game for La Movida. We are already quite, we have a lot of listeners from South America, Spain, people speaking Spanish all over the world, but we are adding somebody very special to the team for the tour. Very popular cycling reporter, Mario Sabato, for everybody who speaks Spanish and follows cycling. That will be great news. He will speak together with Victor Hugo Peña and myself every day during the Tour de France. So I'm very excited about that, and great addition to the team.
And is he going to do that thing like he does, when he covers the races? I'm looking for it. You sent me that clip of him like, oh, here, this is he gonna, he's not going to talk like this, is he?
No, that's not the same.
Hold on. Como uno moto. Is he gonna
No, obviously it's not the same.
Is he gonna do that shit, or is it?
This is live commentary.
I hope so. I hope he does.
That was
awesome.
Yeah, all these people that don't even speak Spanish are like, whoa. Maybe we'll check that out.
It will be spicy. It will be spicy. That's great. I'm very excited about that.
If it ain't spicy, it ain't on the move. Okay.
Exactly.
Straight up.
And a couple other things that we should mention. When every year when we go into the tour, we launch a lot of new merch. New merch coming to the store this week, and this is the great week to buy the membership if you want to go that route. Tune in. You get all of our show prep behind the scenes when we record the show, and hear our thoughts like immediately following the stage. So this is a good time to up that, and you get enough back in discounts and things like that to pay for your membership.
Right. And that pre-show is, we're talking about spicy. That's the spiciest of the spicy. Everybody's the same. We're like, are we live yet? Oh no. Oh, God.
What did I say?
Be careful. Okay. Higgs set it to live. Oh God. Okay. What you see is what you get there. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We got 1 week to go. 1 week from today. The Grand Boucle kicks off. It's going to be exciting.